Hello and welcome back. This is round 2, back 9 of our FPO lead card, the 2025 Preserve Championship, presented by Simon Line. I'm Raven Klein.
I'm Allie Smith.
We're excited to have you back. If you haven't checked out the front 9 yet, go do that. We have seen some amazing golf today for round 2. The weather has cleared up. I almost thought I saw the sun. It was really nice.
Things are moving and grooving. We're seeing Silva Saarinen 7 through 9. Like, these ladies are showing us how it's done. The weather conditions are really helping to see a lot more under par scores from the field, not just this feature lead card here. What else you got to say?
That's about it. We've seen our tougher holes from yesterday are all in this back 9, so I'm really excited. Number 10 being one of them. Hole 10, par 4, 655 feet. This is a change from last year. There's OB up along the entire left and right side. A lot of players are throwing some type of hyzer just shy of the sidewalk for their first shot. Second shot really narrows up, and you want to land up against this hill. If you get far enough on your first shot, you might even try and crest into this sand pit. We saw Kristen do that yesterday. Par is okay. Par is good on this hole.
Yes. This looks like it's a little held right. It needs some help. Is not going to get that help, unfortunately. Finds that out of bounds. First real mistake from Silva on this second round.
I think she got far enough up where her footing's going to be flat, but near that sidewalk is a little bit of a dip, which can be interesting when you're doing your run up.
Okay.
You can kind of see it on a slope there.
Missy making a correction from Silva and throwing a more overstable disc, trusting the right side that it will fade left. Looking like the same frisbee. Discraft. And the same similar shot from Hanna. Nice and safe.
With a little bit of a skip, I actually like Hannah's play a little bit better. If you can get over to this left side, it makes your second shot feel more like a stock shot. A little bit more of that hyzer where you can aim it at the trees again and then fade left. If you're really right, you have to shot shape a lot more on that second shot.
And Cadence showing the distance there, getting the CTP. Big arm. Is she going to go for the pin? Got a driver in hand.
She definitely can. It looks a little bit low, so hopefully she can just stick in the hill. Oh, bottom of the hill. That looked so much further than it was.
It sure did. And it flew forever, so I thought, oh, it's got to be up there.
Yeah, Hanna in good position here. I'd love to see her try and crest the hill. Getting over on top of it, as long as she doesn't hit the trees, she'll be fine. So she is safe, but she's behind that one big tree. She'll just be approaching up and going for the par.
Missy with her thrasher.
It's a nice flip up.
The second shot's just so difficult for us, having to throw something nose up in the air and trust that it's not going to just fade left.
Yeah.
And that's why we saw like Hannah's disc turn right, just trying not to have that mistake happen. Because there's not much of a putt from here on this hill. You can't see the basket.
I was going to say, I actually think if you know you can't get to the top, there's benefit in either going right, as you can see the hill tapers away. So either getting to the right side or being a little bit short so you can have an idea of where the basket is. Because if you're at the bottom of the hill, you cannot see the basket.
No.
So these are blind putts.
Just feeling it.
And
she
great.
Almost felt it. Yeah. Just trust your practice and know your distance. They're inside, right outside circle 2. Just a little.
I was going to say, I thought that was a little left. It was, so that's, And she'll get up there and go, oh, there it is.
Right. Silva, can you make some magic? A little right? Yep.
Oh,
but
yeah, but great. Everybody inside the circle. Hannah's at 20 feet, and that is the furthest shot we have. So a good putt from Hanna.
Yep.
Gets her par.
Good par. Today on hole 10, we saw 2 birdies, Taylor Chosek and Kristen Lott. Kristen picked it up again. She was the only one yesterday. This is definitely a very difficult birdie for
high right side chain for Missy. Unfortunately, no catch this time.
That is an uncharacteristic miss from Missy there. controlled shot by controlled putt by Cadence. Just the limp hand raise there. It's just like, yes, thank you for the claps.
Even with the bogeys, they did better than a good chunk of the field.
I forgot Silva went out of bounds. I
Yep.
was thinking, yes, she was getting a par. So that is her first blemish. But nice to make it only a bogey.
So that brings a tie back in. Cadence securing the par. 9 and 9 for our leaders right now. Missy with the 8, and then the next closest is a 6 down.
Hole 11, par 3. I think I call it an island. I guess it's not, because if you go out of bounds, you don't have a drop zone. You just play it on the short side. There are two kind of plays, maybe a hyzer flip straight at the basket or a crashing hyzer over the right side bush with something that you are comfortable with. You might see some mids. Fairway, I think we're going to see more fairways from this group of ladies.
Yeah, even though it's only 269, it plays closer to 300, I would say, with the height that you have to give it to clear the wall.
Yes, and if you are playing kind of the shot Hanna just threw, it's longer with the right to left.
Correct. And she does a great job. She is at the bullseye. Cadence also opting for the hyzer.
This needs to get down. It's spiking.
Oh, no way.
She gets the trailer bounce.
That's crazy. I do not see that on this hole almost ever. I was going to say, the trailer yesterday, she lands on the bricks and doesn't skip in the water.
And the bricks are out of bounds.
I feel like I almost have to give her my vote for like, hey, I think you're going to win, because those are two crazy things.
Yeah, I agree.
Silva leaks to the right side, so she'll be just outside the circle.
But putting.
Yeah. All 4 players here going that right side.
Get down,
Missy needs to get... Oh, and Missy falls just shy of the wall, which is the risk you have to take by doing that hyzer.
Wow, and this is an uncomfortable position. Right foot, forehand.
I was trying to figure out why that looked funny to me.
Yep. Must have been really pinched there. And taking her lie backwards wouldn't have really been helpful for her. So she'll have a putt to kind of save a bogey there.
Little nose down on her putt, just doesn't give it any air.
Yeah, it was interesting. You talked about the one putt that was
like on that elevated one, kind of looked different.
More nose up, and that one was more nose down, so just the nose angle being messed with there.
Missy not able to capitalize on her putt, left it low, but Cadence really taking advantage of that gift by the bricks. I hope she watches this so she gets to see that, because that was crazy.
Yeah.
Silva with a par. Hanna Huynh with her birdie, and Missy with another double. So now we know her most recent one.
Yes. When's the last time she had 2 in one round?
That's definitely a much longer timeline. Cadence back into first place with that birdie. I want someone ace that. Moving on, we have hole 12, par 4, 650 feet. No OB to mess with here. Get past that first tree off the tee, and you want to push something straight. If you really want to be in prime position, you want to fade just over the bunker and be lined up with where the drone is flying now. Second shot, the biggest thing people run into is they don't give it enough height and they hit the berm. But if you clear the berm and aim for the bush by the basket, you might have a chance at a birdie.
Let's check in with Kristen Lott. I'd like to say her name correctly. I know that's wrong, so I'm sorry, Kristen.
Great distance here.
Pinched?
Possibly. I think she got far. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
she did. She got
whoa.
far enough. Wow, that's such a great shot.
She can just throw the one angle forehand at it.
Yeah, if you hug that left side but don't have the distance, you get so cut off.
Silver is not caddying for her. That is Sarah Gilpin. That's so cool. Great birdie.
Beautiful.
Kristen is charging.
Love to see it. She wants the bear.
Chase card charge. I like this hole. Hole 12 is like, it's challenging. It is a distance challenging hole.
I appreciate the size of the landing zone.
Yes.
On the first tee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There is more than just one ideal spot. Like if you aren't a big arm gal, you can still throw it to a landing zone and have an opportunity for birdie.
Yes. But there's benefit to that distance and, you know, opening up your second shot. Cadence not pleased with that shot, although it's fine, I think is the best way to, you know, it was a fine shot. It's not what she wanted, but she didn't, birdie's not out of play.
No, and it's not like bogey is in play.
No.
Right.
Silva a little bit low again on her drive. She does leak left, so she and Cadence are both going to be looking at a much tighter approach, maybe some type of hyzer flip. I don't think they'll need a forehand or anything.
Missy putting everything into this one, really trying to get over the bunker.
Lands right on top of the hill.
Yep.
Yeah, so she's not in the bunker. And if you're ever worried about being pinched here on this left side, taking the wide route like Missy is the way to go.
Mm-hmm. Not much to do here, but kind of pitch up into the open space. Being a little pinched, a lot of pinched here on the left side and short. Whereas we saw Kristen another 50 feet up was wide open.
Yeah. So I didn't have a great idea about Cadence's birdie is out of play when you're that far left.
Yes.
But par is not.
Yeah.
Like Silva can still get it here.
Especially with the type of throw she usually has. Just kind of gets out of her hand a little early.
I've noticed on what she would probably consider her errors on the last few holes, they've all just been low releases of the disc. She's hitting great angles, but just low. Missy not quite getting the turn on her disc, so she's still going to be deep circle 2.
But looking at her third, you know, like...
Yeah.
So over the berms, all you need to really contend with. I got out of her hand a little bit squirrely, but it's no problem, really. I noticed Cadence is the only one with no caddy. She's kind of out there alone right now. So she's managing the course really well in this pressure all by herself.
Definitely. Hanna going right around the bush. She's inside the bullseye. I really appreciate that they leave that bush there, because I feel like at some places we play, they'd be like, cut it down. We don't need it.
Right.
And no one's getting rid of that thing here. Oh, Silva, a similar angle putt to the one she had yesterday, just a little bit further back. Good height, misses left. Missy a little bit low and left on her long bid.
The bush stops her, though, so tap in. Yep, great par from Cadence.
Just a clean scorecard from Cadence. On the last 9 holes. This is Silva for her par.
She took a little extra time there than she normally does. Thinking just a little bit extra about her putt.
Yeah, her last 2 putts were a little bit off. I appreciate seeing that. Par for Hanna. And a par for Missy.
Tough hole. It's a good hole, though. I don't think it needs to be changed in terms of, like, closer basket or shorter tee pad.
No, I think that hole plays the way it should. You know, you are rewarded, and you have to work hard if you're a little bit off.
Eye roll from Silva there. She's 1 behind Cadence. But as we see, 7 down from Kristen.
And we've got a 6 down from Eliezer, and then Rebecca Dawn and Haley King both putting a 5 down so far for this round. So love to see that movement.
Hole 13, par 3. Tunnel shot. A lot of Frisbees want to leak to the right side. So if you can throw something that's going to stay straight or fade left, that is ideal. With it being 350, I am a fan of throwing a distance driver. It's a long ways. And with the river being low, if you go past the basket, you shouldn't find the river off the tee. This is the common error that we see with it being that 350. A lot of players are trying to use the hyzer flip to get extra distance, and it can sometimes bleed to the right.
Hanna actually got through a lot of the stuff on the right side, though, and got almost close to the circle. So I think that she's going to have an easy time laying up to the basket. Cadence with a rope down this fairway. That was a beautiful shot. She goes a little bit right, but she's inside the circle, and now she just has to decide if she wants that putt.
Similar to Hanna's, starting it from the left. Oh, but gets a rude kick to the right. It's a tough hole. I mean, it is a demanding shot it's asking for. A lot of errors can come into play. Missy going to stick with her color shift thrasher. She's been throwing. That's what I like to see.
Good. It's a beautiful shot. Allie mentioned that kind of hyzer flip up. It doesn't have to be aggressive, but just having a straight finish is so nice. You can see Silva got kicked, but it was actually very open where she was comparatively to some of the other parts of the woods. Hanna just trying to find her best option, but the fact that we can see her, you can see how far up she got.
Sure did.
I think if it wasn't so windy, she might have even considered it.
Yeah, the wind definitely comes into play with the river on the backside here.
Love seeing Cadence give that a run. A little bit low, but that's a good mistake.
Yeah.
You do not want to be high on this one.
Great birdie from Missy. Bouncing back after a few tough holes. I know Cadence is probably upset about that hole, but she's doing the things right. She's throwing the drives committed, confident, executing them well, giving herself the opportunity to make putts. She's putting herself time and time again in the place to score.
This one can be such a tricky one because it's a par 3. It's right there, but if you're not inside the circle to like 20 feet or you're looking at it, you want that putt, but it's a very dangerous putt to run. I hate to say I told you so, but bad things can happen very quickly, and so you have to just kind of accept the par.
What's going on, guys? Hold My Bag just launched the greatest disc golf fantasy game in the universe.
Hold My Bag just dropped the best fantasy disc golf game the planet has ever seen.
I want to tell you guys about the newest disc golf fantasy game on the market.
One of my favorite parts is the Hold My Bag. This is something that we started doing, and it's actually a lot of fun.
Hole 14, par 4, 697 feet. There is OB along the entire left and right side with a little OB stretch in the middle. Most players are trying to throw something low. You don't really want to mess with the airspace on this one and just get to that first landing zone. You can throw a full huck for the most part to this basket. If you get the distance, you might want the birdie putt, but this is another green where you've got to drop off and the basket is on top of a hill. Can be very risky.
And they chopped down the one tree that made this tee shot difficult.
Yeah.
Other than the elevation. But
Great shot from Missy. You don't need to get too aggressive. Also a new addition this year. The right side was not OB last year. So players would just throw everything to the right and be like, I'll deal with it, but it's in bounds.
needs to get down. Oh, yeah.
Just enough from Yeah, out of the hand. I wasn't sure if she was going to get that one. This is a great shot from Cadence. Good angle control.
Well done.
Very smooth.
Got a large gallery following. That's nice to see. Chase card and lead card.
Oh, Silva with another pulled shot to the right. Oh, she got kicked back in bounds. Wow.
By a foot, she's safe. Just needs to hold. Yeah, it's
Gets enough turn that's fine.
fine.
No.
Okay.
Oh, we ate our words.
I knew that. Yeah, I was like, we just were like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Well, I was like, oh, it turned.
yeah.
To see something like that happen right after she gets kicked in bounds and on the same hole that Hanna looks like she should have skipped and then hits the wall.
Announcer's curse.
Disc golf. Hanna doesn't really get any ground play. She just lands in the patch of sand that is up on the fairway.
Missy going with another thrasher.
Yeah, she's in great position here. I love the use of fairway and just riding that right side with something stable.
Puts her in deep C2 with a scary putt with a big hill roll away behind.
Yeah, not sure the percentage of people who are running that.
This looks like it's in the air a bit too much, but it's spiking. Let's see if it can just get down.
Oh, two of them. Just skipping over the edge.
And like barely hopping over the wood. They both knew that they weren't good throws.
Correct.
Yeah. And at least it's the number one and the number two. You know, so
True.
You can kind of breathe a little bit that you didn't lose an extra stroke to Silva or to Cadence.
Everyone just doing a putter approach here. I think maybe day 3, if people were closer, they're going to give it more of a run. But it's just not worth the risk on this hill.
Not at all.
From Missy's shot, she also approached up to the basket.
Yeah, just a little
Silva
pitch up.
able, just taking the single bogey and mitigating damage there after an errant tee shot.
Yeah, that could have been easily a double or worse for Silva.
Yeah. Hanna with a par. Missy, we didn't have the shot of it, but she just laid up, takes her par, and Cadence tapping in the bogey.
First blemish from Cadence.
I was curious if we were going to see a totally clean card. Love seeing the excitement from Hanna. It's always nice to get one back when you throw like a just slightly off shot.
9-8-7-6. I mean, 5th place. Everyone's just separated by 1 stroke. Hole 15. This is a toughie, but it is now a par 5. It's really just a tee shot that's hard. You need to throw it up over this hill and land anywhere. It's all safe. You have a Mando to contend with. Your second shot, you want to throw, if you can be on the maybe right side of this big tree, that would be ideal. Leave yourself an easier approach. The basket's on a slight slope, so maybe take that into consideration with your approach shot. But really the meat of this hole is off the tee. It's a specific shot. You don't want to get too aggressive. You just need to be clean through the gap like Missy is doing here. Fading left is just fine. Sure, you're losing a bit of distance, but with it being a par 5, you've got an extra stroke to work with. And that's just spectators, not out of bounds.
Yeah, and the thing about this hole with the Mando is if you miss the Mando, it's a re-tee. We don't have a drop zone
I
on
didn't
this
know
hole.
that. I'm glad that I... oh my gosh. It's just a re-tee?
Mm-hmm.
I hope you didn't just announcer's curse one of these two.
Oh, God, I hope not. No. So,
Not
okay,
Cadence,
we're good.
yep.
And that is such a great shot. Really good height. She gets the movement to the right side.
That's way up the fairway. Yeah,
That was beautiful.
She could have a look at a 3 if she can flex something 400 feet.
And she has the power to do so. Silva going straighter, but hyzering left. Like Allie said, there's no issue fading out left. You don't gain, your distance there. You're making your second shot a little bit further. Missy did take down one of the posts holding up the rope.
Spectator stake.
Stake, thank you.
Throws out a hyzer, middle of the fairway. Perfect.
Hanna swinging her second shot wide. She's going to get good distance up the fairway, and she's just got a short approach in still.
Yeah, well done.
It's crazy what that one extra stroke for the par can do, because last year with this one as a 4, we saw almost no threes, and a couple of threes we did see were throw-ins.
Right.
So it was just, it wasn't a difficult hole. It was a lot of pars, but now that par is a birdie.
Yes.
And so this became one of the easier holes. Silva's last shot leaked right, got a lot of distance, but it seems like there's a bit of a magnet over here right now. Cadence also going to the right side, so
I'm wondering if she was trying to throw that big flex shot to maybe get a 3.
I think so.
We'll see if she'll have any struggle with the up and down there.
Missy hyzering around the big tree, and she is in the circle, and she'll be looking at a birdie.
I feel most of the time we don't talk about making holes more difficult because that's kind of a standard for us in the FPO field. But I think I would like to see a hazard on the right side or some sort of punishment. So like Silva and Cadence, these shots weren't good. They were not in the fairway. I would consider this off the fairway. I think there should be a little bit of punishment.
Interesting.
So unpopular maybe opinion. But yeah. I like the par 5. I like the soft par 5. You got to get the birdie. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw Hanna's approach, almost clipping the basket. Silva approaching, and now Cadence tapping the base. Missy putting for birdie. Makes good on it. Wee-woo. Wee-woo. Silva good for her birdie.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely just, it's a tweener hole. You know, the
Yes.
4 played very difficult. The 5, very easy. You know, there's no, I think that what you're talking about, having there be some type of punishment or force of control on the second shot isn't a terrible idea to make that 5 seem more reasonable.
Maybe just like a Mando to one side of the big tree. I don't, I guess that would still make it easier. Or, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely interesting. Cadence in the solo lead.
Kristen's moving.
She's coming.
Hey everyone, Gannon here, and I will invite you to compete in the Power Disc Golf Academy Championship Series. This is the only professional amateur nationwide disc golf series, and everyone is welcome to compete. Qualifier events will be held in cities across North America. If you place high enough at a qualifier event, you'll earn the invitation to compete in our championship event at Eagles Crossing Disc Golf Course. Scan this QR code for dates and locations of the qualifying events. We hope to see you there.
Hole 16, par 3, 285 feet. This is the other hole where we have 2 pin positions this tournament. Today we are in the closer position, B, the one with the koozie on it. You're going to see the same shot from people. Few players are going to go straight at it. There's no reason not to just kind of hyzer into the side of the hill. It's just about 35 feet shorter.
Before this, really quickly, we didn't talk about hole 15. It was the easiest. You got it right.
Yay!
Shout out Taylor Chosek with the Eagle 3 on it.
Oh, she did. I was curious if anyone was going to get it.
Half the field birdieing it. So, yes, well done.
Missy with a stock hyzer into the side of the hill. Quick shout out to the world's largest rubber duck that we just saw in the background. It was a little too windy for him to come out yesterday.
Similar shot. I mean, just curls up in front of that bushy tree, so that is beneficial.
I would say that's really the only error you can make on this. With the stock hyzer, I suppose maybe going too far, going to the wrong pin.
Like that.
Yeah. And then getting the roll down the hill. She's outside of both circles.
Call it an error, sure.
Yeah, and I'm kind of
it's
using
so big.
error in a loose term. Like, they're still good shots.
Yeah,
they're
Silva's
still
gonna
fine.
show us a little more straighter approach to it. I like that for the shorter pin.
I like that for the short pin, and I just like the angle control versus coming in on the hyzer, because you hit the hill and you stay.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate the run. She's going to leak just a little bit long.
Yeah, leave herself with a tough comebacker. But it is her forte. Let's see if she can be effective here. That's right.
Good putt. Yeah, compared to yesterday, where there's just no wind, it feels like. A little bit of a breeze. You can see some of the leaves moving, but no reason not to be running these putts.
Mm-hmm.
Great putt from Silva.
We were going to say the same words at the same time. Looking a little lost. Checking to see who's next.
Oh, just hangs out on the nub there.
Nub said no. That's an
She's
uncharacteristic
kinda-
miss.
Yeah, she's like losing a couple of these 50-50s.
Yeah, same there for Hanna. A little, just... there's a bit of wind.
I'll say maybe
you
this is
know?
kind of the first evidence of wind I've seen in a while, and I will say near the end of rounds it was picking up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Quick check-in here with Kristen on hole 17.
That is her bread and butter, that little chip flip up forehand.
Not quite as close as yesterday, but still a beautiful shot.
Fun to see her like mentally work through that, whatever was on her frisbee. Extend through
Great
the heels. Yeah. Really well done.
I did that once where I thought it was dirt, and it was actually a tiny snail.
Oh. Cute.
Just like, and I was like, wow, what do I do with it? I just used the other putter.
Yes, I did that with a ladybug. Yeah.
So Silva with the only birdie on that hole, bring it back again to a tie for first. But now we have a three-way tie. That birdie brought Kristen into the mix.
And here it is, hole 17, the par 3, shortest on the hole, shortest on the hole, shortest on the course. You've got a tunnel of trees that can be kind of rude and kick you left out of bounds. There is a left out of bounds that circles the basket. It's a creek and water, the pond to the right. The right side pond is well inside the circle. You want to throw something slow and low so that you aren't skipping and you're not going too long. Standstill from Silva, it's a great example of slow and controlled.
This is a great shot. I was hoping for a little bit more ground play. Things are drying up a little bit, which was very nice, but bad for the ground play.
The mulch really makes those trees look... it just looks nice.
Yeah. Missy catches the last tree on the tunnel, which if you're going to hit one, that's the one to hit, and shoots to the right side. So she'll have a wide open approach.
This is
Good height from Hanna. Leaking left, but she's inside the circle.
And let's see what Cadence can do. Throwing a putter here, flipping it up. Well done. Yeah.
Great shot.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little smile. Brief, but it was there.
Yes.
Okay, Missy looking at a C2. She got a good kick from that tree.
Yeah, she'll take a par.
She took the time like she was going for it,
Yeah.
but I think sometimes the body takes over and is like, just be close.
There's another one of those kind of odd-looking putts out of Silva's hand. Odd in the sense of like it doesn't match her normal routine.
Yeah.
Hanna taking a wide straddle. Yes.
Great putt from Hanna.
Great job. She's had a clean back nine here. A solid round.
Yeah.
Maybe not as hot as some of the others, but
Cadence getting her birdie after that beautiful drive.
We still got one more round. Anything can happen.
That's true. Silva with a par, and Missy tapping in her par as well.
2 birdies, 2 pars.
That is a cool shot.
Yeah, that is from the catch cam.
We have 1 hole left. Cadence in the lead. Kristen and Silva tied for second, and Ellie Ezra having a 7-down round. Hole 18, par 5, 942 feet. First shot over the water. Without the wind today, you may see players go a little bit straighter off the tee, but a hyzer is just fine to safety. Second shot, you're trying to get up past this sand pit to set yourself up for a third shot over the second pond, aiming for the basket. Like a lot of the sand traps here or the bunkers, it is safe. It just gives you some weird footing.
And let's watch Kristen Lott throw her up shot, her third. She got her third shot way up there.
Yeah.
But still leaves her, yeah, she's a little upset, leaves that fourth one a little short.
Just like when crossing the second or the edge of the pond in 7, these approaches always look like they're far enough, like they're at the basket, and they just dip at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And this sand trap catches so many people.
Just outside the circle to finish with a birdie. Not to be.
Leaves it low, but a tap-in par, not the worst.
Yeah, really good round for Kristen there.
Oh, that duck.
It's huge. The duck's huge.
I love that it was facing directly at the basket. Hanna Huynh first to tee on 18. Good shot. Her height, she's going to be a little bit, center to left side on the fairway, but they're, other than OB, not really a bad place to land.
Right. She's not in that tall grass left in the fairway. This one's a little fluffed out of Cadence's hand, but in the fairway. Hard to really commit. You can see the wind is a little bit of a right to left, so that makes the tee shot scary no matter what.
Silva briefly getting a little bit of a flip up, so she'll still a little bit shorter than I thought. I thought she was going to be closer to Hanna on that one.
Almost looked like it kind of stalled it more than flipped it. Just like held it up in the air and dumped it left. The captain's thrasher from the captain, Missy herself.
Yeah.
4 safe shots.
Yeah, no need to really get aggressive on this. Second shot is where it matters. You want to make sure you are getting right side of that bunker. If you're left side, there's only maybe 15 feet of width where you can still go across without having those pine trees in your way.
So there's that.
She's going to be
between space.
She might be fine.
Yeah.
I think she's right enough.
I think so. Really well.
But your goal is right here where Missy is going.
Pull
you
it
don't want to
right.
be in the sand because it's a weird footing.
There you go.
But that's great. Open approach. You can see everything.
Good footing.
Hanna trying to get a little bit more distance than where Missy landed, but she does go in the sand. Although there's a lot of grass in the sand.
Yes.
So she might be okay with footing.
Silva did, obviously she's going last. She did get more distance from that flip up off the tee.
Stay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Holds it outside of the bunker.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Let's see
She's
if
about as far left as you can be where you still have like a comfortable shot without those branches in the way.
See if she can hold it more right this time. She does. Is it going to fade? It needs to come
But
back.
Go left.
There
Nice.
it hooks up. Well done.
Ooh, just enough.
Yeah. A bit of an overcorrection from yesterday, hitting the left
Hitting the
side.
trailer.
Missy, wide open look at it, unobstructed. She also pulls this right. This needs help.
Oh, and she gets blocked by the signs.
That'll be an interesting place that she's going to take that from.
I assume she'll still be on this side. Everyone pulling it to the right. It doesn't seem like it's that windy. I'm not sure if players were just really trying to put a little extra mustard on these shots. Could be footing, a lot of factors. Silva with the standstill gets a little bit of turn out of her disc, not a ton, and she'll be in the sand trap.
In the bunker.
Classic bunker putt to finish on 18.
Yeah, so Missy will take it on the short side, did not cross. This is a nice hyzer. Is it long enough to stay out of the bunker? Indeed.
Good.
Circle 1 putt to save her par.
Hanna also going from the short side, swinging her hyzer in, doesn't quite clear the bunker and does get a roll back another maybe 10 feet. Cadence is looking at a birdie putt here from circle 2. Leaves it short, but she'll be able to tap in a par to finish her round. And what a round it was.
Yeah, only 1 bogey on the day.
Hanna Huynh for a bogey. Swings it out wide and does miss right side.
This is one of those holes that's tough if you do go out of bounds. Saving a bogey is quite difficult.
Great putt from Silva. She gets to finish her round with a birdie.
She quietly shredded the course today. That was a really good round. A few bogeys, but...
And Missy with the right side catch to secure the bogey on the 18th. Stopping the bleeding.
Yeah, 18 played as the most difficult hole today. Like almost a whole stroke over par.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really, it requires precise shots. It's challenging.
Well, and it does, and if your second shot, like I said, if you're 2 left, you have to kind of concede and maybe pitch out, and your third shot is still on that side, and that can be tough because then you have to execute that approach, and it can get away from you pretty quick.
Very quick. And a tap-in par for Cadence.
Yeah, that was a great lead card today. Cadence and Silva tied for first at the end with an 11 down, a clean back 9.
We see Kristen Lott moving up with a 9 down, putting her overall at 10 down. Missy will move down 3 spots, but stay on our lead card going into round 3.
Eliezer, that's 7. I'm so glad that stuck. That is a great score. Holland doing some good work. Haley King with a 6 down. I love seeing more under par scores.
Yes.
It's really nice to know that this field, yes, the weather was tough, but people were able to at least kind of control it and then take advantage today.
For sure. Absolutely. And I think we're seeing the distance component of Preserve come out. The whole chase card is kind of the big bomber throwers for tomorrow. We've got Holland, Rebecca Cox. What was the other 2 now that I've just skimmed through them? But we're coming for it. There's a lot that can happen tomorrow, a lot of strokes to be swung.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Missy got 2 double bogeys today. We haven't seen them in a while. That can happen to anybody. So tomorrow's going to be a fun day.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hit up the Patreon. We're almost at 500,000. Let's go. I'm Allie Smith.
And I'm Raven Klein, and we will see you tomorrow for this Championship Sunday.
Heck yeah. Bye. Your turn. You good.
Watch your body and I feel that sunshine.